Mike the Ref Maloney, Big Bad Boris on the call here tonight.
Let's go! Let go! Third! Let the Super Kick Party!
Yeah, pay the money for that. And of course, you gotta get the Coffins. Hey, yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a... let's just say this might be definitely... Good thing I'm not alcohol fueled, because this could get really nasty really quick here. Edition of the Mike the Ref Sidecast here over on YouTube and on Twitch. Once again, thank you to everybody picking things up, both on the YouTube side and on the Twitch side here. And yeah, good to see everybody filing in quick. Nats fan, Jay Quick, both glad to see you both here as everything's going on. Like, I've seen some of the card, now they're just randomly throwing in some awesome matches here. Like Brody and Josh, going to be a hell of a match. We got Tony Storm and Lady Frost coming up. We got Harley Cameron and Mega Bang coming up. We got that, what is it, a $40,000 speed challenge going on tonight. Guevara makes his return. Guevara, AR Fox, Kevin Knight, and Roosh. Gates of Agony trying to make a claim to do a lot. Like, I love how everything's just jam-packed here for AEW. Like, all over the place here. And once again, folks, I appreciate having y'all here. Kevin Roosh and Kevin Knight is an angle I want to say. Roosh and a lot of people is where I want to see. And you got to remember, Nats, he is contracted to both AEW and New Japan. So I believe he said this is the last Super Juniors that he's taking on, which once again, Nick Wayne is heading out there momentarily to participate in as well. So gonna be fun. And just everything all over the place here. Just in light of everything that's gone on over the last, 24 hours, 48 hours. As you can see tonight, in tribute to everything that's happened, I'm wearing my Indy Hartwell shirt tonight. Because I knew we were going to get into it eventually here somehow with all the releases that are going on. And one of the biggest ones, not really a release, but Daniel Bryan / Cesaro issue with the contract name being renewed. Same thing with Copeland. Same thing happened to him. Shotzi Blackheart was announced today that her contract's not being renewed. So does Elena Black return? I'm going to be honest, Nats. I think it's way too early to speculate. I think respectfully, you need to see what everybody wants to do before they do it. Like, one thing I've learned, and I'm going to bring up a local story here that I've dealt with here before. There is a local wrestler here who many consider the top wrestler in Alberta. Top wrestler Western Canada. His goal, unequivocally, was to go to WWE.
One more for the good guys.
Get the tables! How you doing tonight, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I thought you'd be streaming tonight. Maybe you are and you just popped in for a follow. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Play Us Pit. Yeah, so he thought he was and realistically, like, for many months, we considered him the top wrestler in Alberta. But he was hell focused on getting to WWE. It's WWE or bust. I will guarantee you, if they would have taken their time if he would have taken anything that happened, he could have ended up with going to AEW without even blinking. But for him, it was WWE or bust. So once you get there and you don't want to do anything and you can't get that goal, you decide to take other life priorities. And, you know, he's in a great place now. He's wrestling a lot now, but at the same time, he's also a father and worries about, you know, taking care of a family more than worrying about pushing himself to that highest level that physically can be. And we're going to have to see what happens with a lot of these wrestlers. Like, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of them will move on to, I would say at least 2/3 of them. Boom. Just had to get that in there. Sorry. As long as we have like 2/3 of those wrestlers that are there are going to end up somewhere. And you know what? Maybe next week, after things settle down a little bit, as we get closer to the 30-day deadline for NXT, in terms of their deal, we can anticipate where they're going to go. But as far as I'm concerned right now, the best thing you guys can do, don't speculate on where they're going to go. Don't think about what they're going to do. And just basically consider yourself the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
Adam Cole comes in, does his pose, and bucks off. And now we get Tony Storm. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. But when it comes to any of these release stars, the big thing I would recommend, share all the good matches that you've seen of them. Right now, the biggest thing right now is to remind these wrestlers about how good they are. And the way you can do that, when they have merch available, get the merch if you can afford it. If you can't, retweet, show off some of the matches that you like the best about them. Like we were talking about this over on the socials yesterday. Get over there and just say, like for me in terms of Dakota Kai, her heel turn on Tegan Nox at War Games was one of the best heel turns done, period, at NXT War Games. Stuff like that. Show people why you care. And once they realize that people care, and promoters, more importantly, see that we care, that's going to get them the opportunities to work at these bigger promotions, and we are going to be able to, we can start getting into fantasy booking a lot easier then. Just saying at this point. So yeah, I'm talking about the buzzsaw. Well, all the releases all together, just saying, like right now, it's great to speculate about where they're going to go, but it's way too early. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, I would rather focus on, like, even one night we might just sit out and just talk about our favorite matches with some of these people. So, Lady Frost, by the way, speaking of women's division, Lady Frost had a hell of a performance with Billy Starks, helping her out in her debut at CMLL last week. So, by the way, good to see you. Good to see everybody here. Everybody just piling in today. Like, trust me, do I have a rant when it comes to all these releases and everything that happened? Hell yeah. Is it a right time to give it? Honestly, right now, instead of worrying about, idiot companies and bookers that can't book a wet paper bag and, divisions falling apart, at this point, I want to make sure that the focus is on the wrestlers that have been released. And just to remind them how good they really are. Oh, like Frost and her history in gymnastics. Like, hell, you want to talk about success story? Talk about Lady Frost here. Except I will say this, just I'm getting it out, ready to go here. I find it rather hilarious that Lady Frost has got a hell of a tan on right now. Just saying. Not saying, just saying. But, no, like Frost and Ty Valkyrie were both the same way. They were told they're on the older side, so they can't work. I don't know about you, but both of them have been pretty successful outside of the time that they were in certain organizations. Like, honestly, I have not seen a company hit its stride the way AEW is right now. The one thing I would love... I remember Frost in Japan. Yeah, absolutely. Like, was that Tokyo Joshi or was that Stardom that she was in? Because there's a real dichotomy difference right now with all around the world when it comes to wrestling. Like, for example, like Mayu Iwatani from Stardom. She has quit Stardom and moved on to Marigold. Sort of expected. And then Thekla just said she's done with Stardom, and all reports are that she's coming over here. That one's a little different as far as I'm concerned because it's not a forced contract release. Personally, she made that choice to leave, and she's got ideas. And I think she... Oh, nice! I never thought I'd hear Tony Schiavone call it Torihiro. Are you talking about Maple Leaf Pro or Major League Wrestling? If you're talking about MLPW, I saw the Gabe Kidd Speedball Bailey Michael Oku match. But that was announced early yesterday. Something new come down, Nats? I'll be honest, I've been working most of the day today. We hit the upper 30s here, our temperature outside right now is currently 27. We hit 30 today. For you Americans, that's around 90. Yamashita versus Jesus. Well, Yamashita actually worked here in Edmonton here last night, taking on Ava Lawless at Top Town Pro Wrestling. Which, if you pick up Maple Leaf Pro on Triller, Top Town Pro Wrestling is also available on that Triller Plus. So, just a little thing if you want to check out what the local scene is around here, and you don't want to check out our YouTube channel, which, frankly, you should. But I just saying, All right, well, Frost is done. What is she doing? The TCM chicken wing. Seeing Yamashita live on Wednesday was a treat. Yeah, like, she is one of the elite talents throughout the world. And so, Nats, now you got a group of people around here just dying to know. How was your experience on Wednesday? As you were at Dynamite that night, and for what we saw, it was an absolutely fantastic card. Oh, goody. Imagine being Tony Storm right now. Good old Tony. Great atmosphere, the best AEW show I've seen. Hey, Met a group of podcast. Hey. It's always good to meet members of the media. Is it just me, or is that triple entendre there, folks? Somebody's gonna deck Tony somewhere here. What a background for the end of this promo. Of course, they're Atlantic City, right? So, and the crowd, and the people walking by are waving. That's great. Tony can wrestle a broomstick. She may get into absolutely. You want to talk about dichotomies of champions here? Well, I love this. I love how Moxley's like. There's no way that Joe can be a bad guy here. Okay. Now you said don't speculate, but what's so bad? Oh, don't worry about it. I don't mind the idea of being like the work that she did with Marita is actually really awesome as well. Like you want to talk about going back? Go back to NXT when the Four Horsewomen were actually somewhat together, or at least three of the four of them, because Shayna, Jessamine, and Marina was there. Well, Jessamine's around. Like Roderick's around, so you know. Oh, and here comes that All-Star Challenge now. No, I don't want to discourage discussion. If you guys have thoughts, feel free to bring them out. Like, it's not bad. It's just always remember, if you're going to say, oh, well, you should go there, these people are still processing the fact that the job that they have dreamt about for so many years decided they didn't want them. They literally said, we don't want you. You can go. That's the only thing I'm saying here, Nats. And it's not, and that's saying a lot of people should remember. And I love the enthusiasm to the fact that we all want them to work more and work in other places, but I think for right now, the focus should be on how good they are and where the reason they're so good. And Papa Guevara's back. Finally. I love Rush's attire. I love the fact that the ROH tag titles are back on TV. I'm really hoping by the time we get to Texas that we can sort of start getting this title situation figured out. With the ROH World title, the TV title. Like, get them a little more focused on themselves. Chat, think about this when it comes to this match. You're looking at all four people here, and you might have to take Kevin Knight out of it because he is that new. But think of this match, what it would have been like pre-pandemic. Like, with all due respect, this has to be... This seriously would have been a main event for like an Evolve or any indie promotion. Any top indie promotion in the US, this would have easily been a main event. And this one's just, all right, this is match number 2 in our 5-match card. You notice Adam Cole's trying to be as, wholesome and genuine as possible. As Kevin Knight, his answer for all that money was, what was it? Monikers for strippers and partying, I think is a polite way of putting it. Smoke weed every day. All right, I am very thankful for the fact that we don't have Ric Flair's drink anymore as the sponsor for AEW. You folks in the States, have you ever tried this eye drink? Kevin Knight is so similar to Chris Bay. Wow. That is very high praise, Nats. Hey, First Instinct, how you doing here tonight? Hope you're doing well over there. That sponsorship flared out. How you doing tonight, First Instinct? We're having a fun time here. Just checking out the old Collision tonight. Lady Frost having a great appearance against Tony Storm there, and now we got just a random everybody. Well, I'm doing great. It's been an interesting 24 hours, to say the least, for wrestling fans. But just watching the momentum that AEW is getting each and every week. Can watch Kevin work every... Yeah, like, if there's some way we could get this feud to go on more frequently with Kevin Knight and Roosh, I would take that 7 days a week and 13 times on the weekends. Now, this was a legit Wrestle Circus main event here. Sammy Guevara and AR Fox. Like, I don't know if you heard of that promotion, and do yourself a favor, look it up if you can. Wrestle Circus. They ran out of Texas. It was a concert hall, basically. 800 people. Packed to the brim. It's basically one of the main promotions where Sammy cut his teeth before getting into AEW. But then once the pandemic happened, a lot of promotions just plain old shut down, and that was one of them. Yeah, I knew this was coming. Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of an interesting week when it comes to streaming next week, so I'll piece those together here. I'll let you guys know as we get closer to it. Saw Sammy versus Walter. Oh, God. How much did Sammy bounce around on that one? Because with all due respect, watching Sammy get hit with chops all over the place here. Oh, that's right. It's live, so we don't get the commercials. He got chopped. I counted 12 times. I believe by the end of that, the phrase that you'd be looking for is,
No, 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 no. No, please. No.
oh, PWG, yeah. Hey, Carbs, we're doing good. We're enjoying some AEW tonight, and it's a great show tonight. We're having a great chat. Just talking about all the positivity going on, especially at AEW right now. We were talking earlier about, you know, in the world of wrestling, it's not exactly the best place right now when it comes to all the releases that have happened here, and right now we're just focusing on the good stuff from all the people that got released, or their contracts running out, whatever way you want to call it. Then we're thinking probably, the thing I love about AEW tickets is they're actually yeah. Well, you were sitting up in the upper bowl, Nats. If you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for them? Cross my fingers for, yeah. Yeah, we were talking about that. Like, there's a few that we'd like to see move over to AEW. While I do not want to speculate on anything when it comes to who's coming in this week, I'll get into that. Don't worry about it. I know exactly where I want to put all of them. I pay with my friends three for 200 really isn't that bad. If you look at it, you're getting, what would it be? You're making me do math here. It's about $70 a piece, so it's not the worst in the world. Oh my God, we got a Maccaster challenge tonight too.
One more for the good guys.
First Instinct, thank you for subscribing over on the YouTube channel. Always appreciate it. If you want to go back and check, we do have all our VODs live there. We also have a lot of wrestling from Alberta, Canada, where I'm from. Up until about 2018 or so, I was heavy into videography of the independent wrestling scene around here. So feel free to check that out. Always appreciate the sub over there, my friend. Just look, King Alexander. Well, King basically worked the States, and Alexander couldn't get into the States. So that makes a lot of sense here, Nat. But no, Zodiac, I'll go back to your point here because it's a very important one. The thing I would like to see, and I do know that Dakota would not be able to be involved in this. Tony Khan, if he could announce a gauntlet battle, one of those casino gauntlet matches for the women at All In July. Yes, it's going to be about 30 days short for Dakota Kai. But the fact that they could do that, maybe bring in a Gigi Dolan, maybe bring in whether you bring in a Gigi Dolan, bring in a Cora or Elena Black, Priscilla Kelly, I gotta feel, well, like I said, we can speculate more on that next week, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be going straight out to TNA with her husband. But like I said, that's how we could discuss later if we need to, we can. Great stuff. I just switched over from watching WWE to watching AEW. Find AEW show much more entertaining. What's the current storylines? There's a ton. Like, as we go through this here, like, well, there's hologram. Yes, absolutely, Nance. We got, well, on the men's side, it is, well, one of the biggest focuses we got right now. Hey, STG, thank you for the laugh coming in. Always appreciated. Right now, in terms of the biggest story we got coming across is they just showed him looking at, oh, okay, sorry, I missed that. Wouldn't surprise me that he's out here looking. The Owen Hart Cup. Every year, AEW has a tournament to honor Owen Hart and his charity, the Owen Hart Foundation. Coming up at Double or Nothing, we got Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. With the winner of that Owen Hart Cup tournament going to be facing probably Tony Storm at All In Texas. And for the men, it is Will Ospreay versus Hangman Page coming up at Double or Nothing. Other storylines right now, they're all over the place right now. We got Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland going after the Bucks at Okada. We got Samoa Joe and Jon Moxley right now as the top. Basically for the top title right now, even though we haven't seen it since October. There's hologram. It's a great cause. I love the Owen Hart Cup. Wish they would make it more technical, wrestling focused event, but that's just fair enough, Bass Keaton. And yeah, like I love the fact that they use it for that. Oh, is AR going to win this? I thought he was going to. Let me just check one quick thing. Well, that's why it's not come up. All right. All right, folks, I just literally threw it up right now, and I apologize I didn't get it up. For those looking on YouTube, like, what the hell is he talking about? Sorry, this is just a Twitch-specific thing here. For the month of May, we're raising funds for Jack.org here. Speaking of great causes, thank you for reminding me, Mass Keaton, get that straight there. Jack.org supports youth and young adults. Oh, never mind. There's the GTH. Guevara getting that diaper food. Diaper food?
What the hell is that?
Diaper money. Diaper money. Diaper money. Guevara out forever and comes back and wins, what was this, $40,000? Now Guevara wants to come after the TNT. He hasn't defended his own title. He wants him at Double or Nothing. Yeah, shout out to Dustin Rhodes, absolutely. Like, the living legend, has been a diehard AEW guy from the beginning. I'll get to my promo about Jack in a second here. I was wondering why that wasn't coming up properly, but... But yeah, I think Guevara's got, like I said, he's got to be more worried about defending the titles that he has. We don't want them turning into the certain divisions women's titles in a certain other company, right? Not saying, like I said, it's just... Dustin could have easily left with Cody, but didn't, and Dustin loves this company. Yeah, like he said over and over, he's retiring in AEW. It wouldn't even surprise me if others came back to retire here. Reb De Faluda. Welcome. Good to see you here. As we actually are going to hit a... Oh. They're doing a Joe Mox promo now. He's got the Sweet Tooth shirt. He's got the Sweet Tooth shirt. I will never forget when Nats, it's true and it's false. They did let the Edge trademark lapse. However, they refiled for it later in the day. So we'll just get it straight. I'm up here in Canada, Rabdi. Up in Western Canada here, so. Glad I said allegedly. Well, you know, it was true. They did drop it. Okay, so Joe's basically sucking it into a position here where things are a little lower. Where's Mariah May been? Well, she hasn't been in action since Revolution there, the final match. The Hollywood ending. And there have been stories that she's going to go to WWE once her contract runs out. She faded into mediocrity, just like Tony Storm said. I will guarantee you, the second she puts pen to paper on a new deal, if it's for AEW, she'll be back on TV as fast as possible. But if you're also looking for her, you can see her later tonight on WWE 2K25 here, as we're going to be doing our go home show to Bash in Berlin. Exclusively over on the Twitch channel. So thank you for the hearts and the emojis as we're going along here. Always appreciated. Now over on the YouTube channel, I just see them flying by all over the place there. If you could do us a solid here, and feel free to, if you're on the YouTube channel, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, just let your friends know. The more friends we get in here, the better every night. We're always... All right, bye, man. I'm going to go day drink. Hey, nothing better than a day drink. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and to let you know every time we are live. But you enjoy your day drink, my friend. I'm glad you popped in here. Hope everybody's doing well. I just hope everybody's having a great night tonight. Like, for all the stress... You've been drinking all day, Zodiac? Hey, you know what? Let's get the black horn. Is that the party horn, isn't it, normally? Or else we got...
Oh, yeah!
There you go. A little bit of old Savage in there as well. I forgot I had that one in there. Got to use that. 25. Still doing 25. And... Zodiac, I will probably set up a... Meh. My fingers don't work too well. I'm actually glad somebody actually reads the title there. I appreciate it. I'll get a hold of you and I get a hold of Vic tomorrow after I'm done recording with Adam. For those that aren't familiar, I'm also... Hey, I appreciate the love, my friend. I appreciate the love. For those that don't know, I am going to be... I'm going to be a guest this week on Remember the Game. Plan is right now. Plan is. As we're going to be checking out Hot Shots Golf for the PS1. I've been playing that on my off time at work, off stream here for the last few days here just to get my memory back into it. No, Adam's got too much on the go right now, and I think his ball hockey team's on Wednesdays. And I think we do have a foursome already. Yeah, Adam doesn't get... You know what? We got so many great podcasters that come in here, period. Like, Mass Keaton, I know you're all over it as well. And, of course, the Retro Hangover, like, that's my go-to on Sundays. As soon as it gets out, it's usually downloaded and sitting in my work truck as I'm trying to survive a Sunday at work. And yeah, I'm doing another podcast next Saturday instead. It's funny. They were messaging me and they're like, are you worried about perpetual podcasting side? Hey, nothing wrong with that. I used to be a guy that had like 4 pods a week, 5 pods a week on here. It just became too much. We do have the old podcasts on here, by the way, if you're ever interested, on our YouTube channel. So there's tabs of a whole bunch of stuff there. All right. I don't have the ability to put it up on my screen yet, but I am loving Nixon Newell, FKA Tegan Knox over the last week here watching this stuff. By the way, before I do this, on behalf of Zodiac, there you go. It's all yours, my friend. I want to get you this quote here by Nixon Newell here just a few seconds ago, because she has been clapping on all these haters when it comes to into the releases and all that. All these, it's Biner time. Imagine thinking you got a sick clapback for a tweet by saying it's just business. Sure, if you're trying to kill it. Far too many crazy talented people let go. But I digress. I'm going to enjoy these superstars kill it wherever they end up. And I am just reposting that on X right now. So if you guys are interested in seeing that and sharing it out, feel free to check out my X right now at Mike the Ref. Well, different tab if you're checking out on the computer, but I've been from what I've been able to see during, last night, most of my night was dealt with watching Shada Ross Sapp deal with everything, but they totally wiped out their women. Well, also makes you wonder how many people are being brought up. Here's the thing that I'm going to get out of this. And seeing Harley right now. Harley is the home run that AEW did not expect. Yeah, we'll get into that later there, Zodiac. Because I honestly feel that not many of them are going to go that way. But if you look at Harley here, I don't think anybody expected Harley to turn out the way that she has, and she's just basically been a home run for AEW. You remember when she was working with QT Marshall and just literally squandering, just doing promo work, and that's it? And look at her now, worked her ass off to get here. She survived Bully Ray training to get here. And I think this might be the first time ever I've seen Mariah May get worked in a section. It's probably not going to last long, but... Whoa. Look at Harley just rip it apart right now. And, oh. What in the hell? Oh, there we go. Tried to go for a lung blower and it just, nope. But Harley, I think that's the most sustained offense what we've seen on Megan Bayne outside of Toni Storm since Megan got here. But not only just the action of the ring, the level of wrestling available in there's a certain level of wrestling in the ring that you have to have at AEW. It's been proven we're just stuck there now. The bar has been set. You need to be there no matter what for your wrestling ability. But think of Harley's promo to get into this match. This match got made off of a picture of Anna Jay and Harley Cameron at Coachella. Literally, that's how this match got made. Because Anna Jay got beaten up last week, and Harley said, no, something special happens when you go to Coachella together, which I will leave that to the imagination. And it leads to her defending her Anna Jay against Megan. Like, Harley's smiling right now. Little eat defeat, little soul food. But yeah, Adam Cole on commentary, he should be good. Like, he is a natural talker. And the fact that he does, like, I don't know how many of you watch the Chugs on Twitch. I watch pretty religiously whenever he's on. I've usually got a tab open for him. And he's just so natural at it. Like his tastes are more Soulsborne than anything else. Soulsborne, RPG, shooters. Like, his favorite game is Halo. I believe Halo 5 is the game that got him into streaming, so. But yeah, like, he even plays, like, right now, the last 2 games he's got on his cycle, because he cycles through 5 games at a time. This week it was Final Fantasy VI and Stellar Blade. So, but just the way that he talks and how smooth he is, everything lets everything roll off his back. Doesn't talk any wrestling on there. That's why his name is the Chugs over there. You start talking wrestling and the mods tell you to politely stop. And if you can't stop, well, they get rid of you. Do I watch Omega Street? I haven't watched him since he came back for it. Pre-surgery, I used to watch, rather. It was on Fridays. I was on call Fridays, so I couldn't stream. Always nice to hear the insights of Kenny as he's going along. Because he'll talk about anything. He is not afraid to open his mouth about anything. And I'm very happy about that. But yeah, as we got a whole bunch of people popping in here, and a lot of people, well, everybody here enjoys AEW for the most part. Oh yeah, never mind, McGee isn't here, so just... I guess McGee does love it. He just... I honestly think he hate watches WWE for some reason. Maybe it's just me, but... And I'll tell him that next time I see him too. But, I have to ask you, and you don't answer me because we already know that's already going to come out. Do you have any favorite content creators that cover wrestling besides... I know you guys are going to say me, and, I'll just... Thank you. I'll just... Where is it here? I'll take the applause right now anyway. It's fine. But, instead of actually having the show on for Raw or SmackDown, I'll have Wheezy Blonde on. Nick, Conman, Jake72, yeah. Me and What Culture? Hey, that's fair. What Culture for me got a little too sensationalized on their YouTube videos, so I'll watch Simon Miller, but the rest of the guys just... They soured me a little bit. As we come back for the Picture in Picture. And Conman does a fantastic job, so. The thing is, their titles are Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know it's Simon Miller. I'm going to get straight up what I'm looking for, right? Or even if I'm not going to get what I'm looking for, it's going to make sense. And for me, that's probably more important than anything else. And Nats, just to correct you, the guys who did WCPW are actually now part of Wrestle Talk more than anything else. It was under that brand, but like the What Culture brand, but at the same time, oh, and by the way, speaking of What Culture, Wrestle Talk, all those guys, there is a brand new YouTube channel that is up. I just noticed it this week with the first video that got booked. It's called Blampco, BLAMPCO. And if it sounds familiar, it is Adam Blampier. And his first video was booking the Summer of Cena. But yeah, Nats fans, sorry, I didn't mean to miss your... Yeah. Wrestle Talk has their stuff. Well, they also have two different channels now, right? They have their Wrestle Talk podcast channel, which their stuff does go out into podcast feeds. And then they also have their main channel, too. Don't worry about it, Nats. It's fine. I know you have that thought about Blampier. You also have that thought about Sean Ross Sapp. I get it. It's fine. It happens. Everybody's able to have opinions, and I respect you for yours. I respect everybody for their opinion here, as long as you have an opinion that's based on some sort of fact. Sean, Adam, and JD. Okay, fair enough. Are you kidding me? Like, we're getting my straw cradles at this point? We went over it, Mass Keaton. I'll save you the spoilers for it. It's for the fact he did get spoiled on something, so. You and Nats can discuss it further about what further reason for that, but. That has got to be the most competitive match Megan Bayne has had outside of Toni Storm in this company. Would you guys not agree? Like, realistically, if you look at this, like, she needed this match. She needed this match. Please tell me Sammy's here. Please tell me we get another return tonight. Come on. Come on, please. Ah, damn it. Oh, and here's Anna Jay with a 2x4. And it barely flinched her. Well, it looks like we got a tag match for him in here. I believe this is what we call a secondary feud, is it not? No title involved. That's right? There's no title involved here at all. But it's a secondary feud that we got going on here. The reason I was getting excited is because when AEW does their reveals, they always do them on live shows, not taped ones, and this one's live tonight. And I thought with Sammy Guevara showing up, we might get an appearance by Ty Mello. the former Ty Conti, for those that are watching over here from the old WWE brand, or the NXT brand, former NXT wrestler, former AEW star, had a shot at the TBS title. Well, I guess everybody did before Jade left. But, yeah, I hope she comes back soon. Just to give it a nice different, like, you're always looking for different people for different edges here when it comes to AEW. That's another thing when it comes to these signees. Like, here's another reason why I'm a little cautious about trying to guest book where to put people. And it's something based on my years of experience as a retail. Like, right now I'm a service manager. I'm not in charge of staff, but I'm in charge of, repairs and such. But I used to be in charge of staff and in a retail setting for a good 20 years prior to my current job. One of the things that you always remember when you're a part of that, when people ask if you're hiring, the answer is always yes. You're never full. You can always hire somebody on, and if that person is better than the person at the bottom of the line, that person at the bottom of the line is the first one to get laid off. It's a shizen way when it comes to loyalty. But unfortunately, in business these days, that's the way it is. And that's why I get a little worried about what's going on here at WWE with all these releases. Like, who's coming to fill those spots? Are they going to fill those spots internally? Are they just getting rid of bloating? Are they looking at bringing some, like, I know one of the jokes, well, and for me, it's a horrible joke because you're talking about stuff about people's lives and whatnot here, but there was talk about it possibly being all these people being released so they can afford to pay Mariah May.
Timeout.
Let's just call a timeout on that one. Mariah May ain't gonna get that much. First of all. Second of all, it's all about fit, right? And it just seems like WWE thought that they could. The thing that sucks, and I have to think about this now. Scarlett and Shotzi were filming those haunted house videos on YouTube, right? That go out every Halloween. They've already pre-recorded the 2025 ones. So Shotzi's still going to be on WWE TV in the fall. Well, Shafir decided she didn't like that security guard a whole lot. And Moxley just said, nope, we're coming down to the ring ramp. I love how Marina just grabbed. Marina actually spoke English there. She was only speaking Russian forever. People giving a thumbs down, or too many people just giving the ultimate FU there. I think somebody forgot to tell Mox what the hard cam was. Because he's totally doing his promo to the back here. All these fans are telling him what they're going to do. Joe's going to kill you. This whole crowd's just about to stand on their feet. Oh my. Joe rocks. You know what? His Ring of Honor stuff was like, I don't want to say better. I would say just as good. By the way, I just reposted a certain thing that might be a little interesting here. So they got Joe and Claudio on Wednesday. Sorry, I'm focused on the promo. Then I see the graphic. It's like, we got Joe and Claudio on Wednesday. Like, just think about that. We got Joe and Claudio on Wednesday. I want to see Joe come through the crowd, beat the living crap out of him right now. Instead of sneaking out that way. Or maybe Willow. I love this scene right here. It's a smaller venue, yes. But at the same time, it is packed. I think they're trying to throw it over to Cole, and Cole doesn't want to say a word because he is pissed. Are we going to get Roppongi Vice versus the Outrunners tonight? Oh, okay, Mass. Oh. There's a bit of a thing going on right now on the old on X. Just throwing it out there. A promotion that's been long dead for a while, known as Shimmer Wrestling, looks like it's come back from the grave a little bit here. I don't know what that means, but that could mean something good. You didn't see that before. All their promos have that. The VHS feedback. And that's how they do the different transition over to their promos too, Zodiac. It's really cool. I love it. No, I'd like to see that tag match too. Like, the thing about AEW is the feuds are a lot more simple, but the feuds are everywhere. I know that people were asking earlier about it, like Carbs was asking over on the old YouTube account here about what the feuds are. There are feuds all over the place. Happy you keep us TNA. Honestly, the themes from TNA probably didn't cost a whole lot to begin with. Dale Oliver was giving them away for a song at the best of times. And of course, Brody gets his own music because, well, he sang it. Oh, and just as they're bringing it up here, I am loving the fact that they are doing this residency over at 2300. I understand that, you know, it is the same site as the ECW arena, and it is different now, but at the same time, it's the feel of the Philadelphia fans. It's the nostalgia being there. And the fact they're going to be coming out of Forbidden Door, going right into that venue. And you know Forbidden Door is going to be a hell of a show. We will be here for that, by the way, once again with the Sidecast. It is a lot of fun as we do it there. So, will they dry out the Philly fans? Well, normally the Phillies are about 30 games behind the Braves at that point, so they no longer become Philly fans. They're just in the position now where they're trying to become Eagles fans, so they need a little bit of extra violence. So, you know, the best way to cure a little bit of extra violence. Cole tried to pull his best Don Callis impression of being neutral without being a jerk. Josh like, no, I'm not eating that chop, thank you. Yeah, you know, a match like this, Alexander's probably going to have to break it down to a wrestling match. It's funny, Alexander always looks so big, but you put him in there against Brody, and he just looks like a cruiserweight. But yeah, like I said, this is gonna have to turn into a slugfest for Brody. That'll be his best advantage. Jesus. So yeah, just a reminder, we will be here for AEW Wrestling both Wednesday and Thursday night. We might even be doing a double stream on Thursdays, so. Oh, he tried doing the reverse cross body and Brody just said nope. I love that. I love that transition right there. When you, like, so, I do have to ask you guys, and this just came out yesterday. Of all the major promotions available right now, only MLW and AEW allow excessive blood on their shows now. As TNA just put out a memo to all their wrestlers that blood needs to be limited in their matches. First thing that came to my head was, well, Sami Callihan's probably looking for a way out now. If he isn't there currently yet. Either way. Sammy C at GCW. Yeah, AEW has dialed it back, but it hasn't been mandated to dial back. And one thing I think Tony Khan's been a lot smarter with now is the fact that he's smart about it. At least Brody was nice enough to give Arkady her mat. Because she has one of those seat mats there. Alexander ain't getting no privilege, no Matt. Tony's had 6 years ago. Yeah, well, Tony's just been... Well, it's just being smart, that's all. Oh, who showed up at AEW tonight? ACH showed up at the GCW show. So, really enjoyed Rebellion, but TNA has some concerning habits of becoming WWE light. The removal of blood, the focus of celebrities in the crowd. The fact that their show ended with a WWE guy beating up a TNA guy, yeah. And Zodiac makes a, well, I'll get back to the TNA point here in just a second, Keaton, because I agree with you in many ways here. And it sort of goes around like, it goes in a circle based on something else we were discussing earlier, and Nats knows exactly where I'm going with that. I have always been a proponent of no blood matches. I've always been that. I've always believed that, you know, realistically, you don't need blood in it unless it's a certain circumstance. Give me blood if there's a story. If there's a feud that deserves a blood, like a serious use of blood and blading and all that, I have no problem with it. But if you're going to be Jon Moxley and see how much you could bleed every week just for the hell of it, and he was doing that. Let's not even kid ourselves. It was a weekly fight about that. So when it's stuff like that, then it's just stupid. Yeah, i.e. CM Punk, MJF, and Swerve Hangman. Hell, even even Fletcher Osprey. I know that it sounds weird about that, but the fact that these guys have literally killed each other for as long as they have, I don't mind that it's something like that either. It's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, just, and to me that's the thing about blood. Make it count, make it worth something, and then maybe I'll worry about it. But when every year the Bucks can go through the Anarchy in the Arena match without blood everywhere, in what's straight up just basically a Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match, which I got a feeling we're going to be getting set up here in just a few weeks at Beach Break on the 14th when we have that 4-hour show. Unfortunately, yeah, well, did I forget to put that in here still? All right. For the fact that the Bucks are still around, I'm very prominent. Nats fan, this is for you. Just say it. You know, just say it. But Mass Keaton, I'm with you. Going back to your point about TNA there, and I know we have a couple people here that watch TNA quite regularly, and I want that product to be successful, but the kind of changes that they're making and the rumors that they're getting a distribution deal, which is probably going to be correlated to something that WWE used to have and they can pass to another way. Like, say, for example, USA wants TNA for a couple hours, or Fox wants TNA for a couple hours every week. That's just going to be fed off the deal from the aftermath of the WWE deal, right? So I still personally feel in my heart of hearts that Anthem's looking to get this thing as productive as possible, then they're just going to get rid of it. And when I say it, I'm referring to TNA itself. Because if they want a serious amount of, if they want to make money off it, they got to spend on contracts. I appreciate all you guys throwing out your online comments about Dakota there, Zodiac. I saw that there. Here's another interesting one. Kiana James is actually putting out a lot of stuff this week. Because she hasn't been out in forever, so. Oh my God. AJ Styles' Twitter account's been hacked. Somebody go ask him if he's taken that round trip around the planet yet. Sucks that Brody's got to eat a pin here, but because I can't see him not eating a pin at this point. And again, just a 2 count. Oh, God bless Nigel with some of his promo work here. Do or do not, there is no try. Is that not a Simpsons reference? Is he actually going to try for a C4 spike? There is no way you get that on Brody. Because even last week, he had to get an assisted. Are we still saying Danielson Nigel versus FTR in Texas? Let's wait till after Double or Nothing, but I still feel that way. What say you guys? Does Nigel and Danielson work together? Because honestly, I think right now they want to make the focus of the oh God, Alexander just eating that lariat. I think they really want to make the focus of Double or Nothing, the Owen tournament. If you bring in Danielson before that happens, there might be a possibility that that sort of gets softened. Gets softened, doesn't get set up properly and whatnot, so. There's no way. Nope, I didn't think so. I was going to say, there is no way that Alexander's going to lose there on one finisher. Well, at least he doesn't have to worry about Harry. He can just grab him by the... You can just grab him by the cap, right? Oh, and Alexander wears that headgear for a reason. He actually does have a cauliflower ear. Well, Brody said, "Note that the hell with you, we're going anyway." Avalanche superplex, is it every super? All right. So I've tried to learn that, Tony, you just don't go a little, you don't go too hard on that stuff. Oh, goody. The good old-fashioned draw. He's going to have to be quick, but... This sounds like the equivalent... Hey there, you... Oh, God. I'm sorry, McGee, but...
told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
Good to see you here, McGee. We were talking about you earlier, of course. And your affinity for WWE. Jesus! And Josh rolls to the outside, so we're going to have you draw. I don't mind that. The fact we're going to get to see this match again. Because as you look at this, it being a draw isn't exactly... What in the world? This whole crowd wants 5 more minutes. Josh and Brody in a draw smart. Both guys are over. Yeah. No, it just leads to another match later, right? But no, good to see everybody here. Like, everybody, like... This is how you set up a Meat Madness match, by the way. Are we going to get like a monster pop? Oh, God. It's a monster splash. It's the monster splash. Hey, oh, the mash. It is a monster smash. I always say that because the Murder Hawk Monster was a victim. Now he's getting beaten up by both sides. Might sound cliche, but I'm not well at taking compliments, Nats, but thank you. I always think there's so much more I can add to them. Saw Brian Cage had surgery? Yeah. I think he's been trying to avoid it for as long as possible, but now... the little Bowser boys back in their crib. Nothing like hanging out in an apartment that has no furniture, right? See, Leo, it's simple. It should be you're either crew or you're through. Like, that breaks itself, you moron. So I get angry at stuff like that. Like, Max Caster could have written a better slogan than theirs. Oh my God, who are we going to get this week? Who could survive the best wrestler alive? Well, how can they not prove something that they usually are? Don't hate me too much. Don't hate me too much. Oh, who's this going to be? Oh, wait, we got to get the chant going. out of time to show up here. Just as Max Caster's getting himself over. I love that the Topanga lookalike there. She's like, let's go, Max. You're the best wrestler alive. The sad part is, Caster is so over it, he should be. Missed anything crazy? Well, Garcia's going to take about 3 minutes. We had Harley Cameron gave Megan Bayne the biggest challenge of her career outside of Toni Storm so far. We had Lady Frost put on a great performance against Toni Storm. Sammy Guevara makes his return and makes some cash in a 4-way challenge over Rouge, AR Fox, and Kevin Knight. Josh Alexander, Brody King, crazy good match, ended up in a draw. Now we're getting Daniel Garcia to 5-minute challenge against Max Caster. We had a couple segments involving Moxley and Joe. Joe's pre-taped, Moxley one pre-taped, one live. Chad, help me out. Is there anything else memorable that we can come up with here? Oh, it's been an absolutely nuts night. We still got 2 out of 3 falls. Paragon and FTR is our main event. No, it's definitely worth checking out. Like, this is another one of those. Toni Storm's promo is enough to do that. She ended her promo on the boardwalk. She ended the promo with the boardwalk as her background. And we've been talking a lot about, you know, some of the best matches coming up for some of the people that got released this week. And I basically said next week we'll focus on where they could go. But you got to remember this week that these people just got let go of their dream job. And while we're just a very small podcast, my goal would be a minute. Most women are pissed they can't even... They can't... So is FTR gonna join? Is Garcia gonna join FTR if they win? But what else we got tonight if it's not that? Yeah, 1 whole minute. Well, the match before was a 50-minute draw, so that's why you're trying to do that. Really, Blake? Wait, for somebody that calls himself Vanilla Baby, talk about blah? Vanilla is the definition of blah. $150% better. Oh, we got the Gates of Agony. Okay, so yeah, that was the other thing that they mentioned, that the Gates of Agony is going to be an action, and then we got the main event tag. So that makes sense. Wow, just it sucks that you don't get to have the hotel people in matches in their hometown here. You got Anthony Bowens and as well as Deonna Purrazzo, because Deonna's been out doing PR for this show for, well, pretty much all week, if not the last couple weeks. It sucks that she's not going to be able to be on the show tonight, but hopefully it doesn't turn out like certain people going out to do WrestleMania PR this week. Sorry, can't get past it here on some of this stuff. So, but once again, everybody, just thank you for being here. I know, you know what? Because of what happened on Wednesday, we're gonna go through the rundown of everything coming up here now instead of before the main event, because they might just go straight into it like last week. So, for those on YouTube, please do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe. The thumbs up will help us get more attraction to more people just like you, and we can have more of a conversation over here on the old YouTube channel. For those on Twitch, once again, thank you. If you aren't following, please do so now. It's free. And if you really like what you see, consider subscribing. Every little dime that goes in there will help towards everything that we do here. Plus, as well, you'll see a donate button on the bottom of the screen. We are raising money for jack.org to help youth and young adults deal with mental health and mental health situations, because Lord knows this last freaking month they need it. So goal here is to raise $500 over here over the next month here. So any amount is great. Always appreciative. I got some other plays that we're going to be doing here with it as well. So, but yeah, in terms of what we're going to be running here the next few weeks, our next time we're going to be live on YouTube is on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite, as we get into essentially a go home Dynamite for Beach Break. Is that right? Yeah, that's definitely it. The 7th. Then we'll be on YouTube on the 8th for Collision as well. So make sure you stop by, put up a tab. I will try and get out some notices up earlier than what they were today, instead of half an hour. On Twitch tonight, after we're done here, in the pinned comment on YouTube, the link is there for you. Twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. We're going to be getting into WWE 2K25. We are on week 14. It is our go-home show to Bash in Berlin, which means we treat it like our home PLE. And we got some power cards to get to use, so we're definitely going to use those. No stream Saturday. No stream Sunday. Monday I'll be on with some MLB The Show. Wednesday, of course, after Dynamite, we're going to have the Bash in Berlin PLE. Thursday during the day, Zelda is on the tap as we're getting closer and closer to finishing off Link's Awakening, as we're trying to get closer to some other stuff here. So, and Thursday night, we'll be here with week 16. Things are subject to change here, of course, because, we have some other plans here. So, best thing to do, just make sure you hit the follow button over on Twitch to let you know every time we go live. But more importantly, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, wherever you're at, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on VOD, thank you for being here. I don't get to say it enough these days. It's days like these that make me appreciate people like you that much more for being here. I really do mean that. One of my biggest problems here is I always feel like I'm looking less than genuine. I promise you, I grew up in front of the spotlight, very careful the whole time. I'm just trying to be as straight with you guys as I can every chance I can. So, but once again, thank you everybody for being here. I think these opponents for the Gates of Agony do not want to be here right now. Oh, McGee, I think I'll throw that out there. And Nats fan, for earlier your comment, I'll just throw one of those as well for you. All right, that guy's dead. Nigel's like, Avs or Stars? Well, let's put it this way. Do we want to piss off the world? Yeah, this is over. Subbed up on YouTube? All right, the notification will come up momentarily, sir. Also, pegging your Blues. I'm honestly gonna. I think we're gonna go Winnipeg, Colorado. Just because when it comes to Avs, Gates of Agony called out the crew. Gates of Agony call. I haven't seen that card, McG. I've heard it's supposed to be amazing, though. A1 has really stepped up their game out of Ontario. You want to watch some good Canadian wrestling? That's the way to do it. But Nats, thank you for subscribing over on the YouTube channel. I wonder how this interview is going to go with Jamie and Renee. Because, let's face it, Renee, when her interviews with Mercedes are a little creepy. You gotta love how Lee Johnson's the linchpin to keep things going here for that. Nah, Swerve will be around on Wednesday. Whoa, 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 whoa. Swerve, Briscoe, and Bailey versus Ricochet in the box. Samoa Joe and Claudio. Folks, Wednesday be cooking, my friends.
One more for the good guys.
There we go, Nats fan. Thank you for your sub over on the YouTube channel. It is a little late in coming up. But, oh, May's going to be so much fun here. Love the look of these small. The one thing I enjoyed is they had at about the 1 hour mark, they had a crowd shot of Tony, Nigel, and Adam Cole facing the crowd going into the ring. It was like, you could tell it was a smaller venue, but it still looked jam-packed to the roof. And I prefer something like that more than anything else. It gives that old school, if you guys remember Maple Leaf Wrestling, for you Canadian fans, and I'm talking about the WWE version throughout the 80s. It always showed the venues just like that. Jam-packed. They were smaller, but they were jam-packed and they had action right behind them. So the Stampede Wrestling actually looked pretty good too. I will say it didn't look just the way the venue looks. I don't think they could film it any better than the way they did. Love the look of the packed small venue over the huge. Yeah, like have your huge arena for your big 4, your big 6, whatever, for your pay-per-view events. Make your pay-per-view events must watch. And let's face it, let's look at what's happening at Double or Nothing right now. Without everything being solidified quite yet, we're at least getting Ospreay Hangman, Mercedes Hayter. Those are the only 2 matches that are announced right now so far. To me, that's enough to make that pay-per-view must watch. especially what Hangman and Ospreay are going to do. No slight to Mercedes and Jamie, but my God, when Ospreay wants to throw it into a higher gear, so torn over both, and that's the thing, and that's what Tony Khan's hitting a home run with right now. You honestly cannot have a bad matchup out of all that. My personal belief, I think it's going to be Ospreay that wins to take on Moxley, because Ospreay needs the damn title to move AEW to the next level. And on the women's side, I think we're going to get Athena versus... We're going to get Athena versus Mercedes Take 2 for the TBS championship. And that's where Mercedes loses her championship. And then Jamie takes on Tony, which that's just plug it into my veins and just feed me that like 16 times a week. But I'm not gonna feel bad if it's Mercedes and Tony and Hangman and Moxley. The only reason I don't want Hangman Moxley is because I've seen it before. In one of the most brutal street fight matches you ever seen. So Jericho canceled an event for this. If you guys haven't seen online, Jericho Fozzy had a gig tonight that they actually canceled. Nice camera work, you dip. There was nobody there. This is one of the more awkward... This parking lot brawl needed to be filmed a little better, if you ask me. So they essentially have 20 minutes to get 3 falls in. It's funny, she called him Stokely, but according to the AEW website, his name is Stoke. Stokely's a rat. Cash has got a gun, and Dax has got a mouth. Dax wants protection for his kids. That's what it is. That has to be what it is. Tony's like, no, he was pointing to the fans, not to any of us. What do you think about the Paragon shirts? I prefer my text readable, to be perfectly honest, but other than that, they're not horrible. The fact they're not black is also a bonus too. Any wrestling shirt that is not black is already getting extra points with me. All right, who we got here, folks, for the main event? You got FTR, you got I think you get FTR in 3, and the third one's going to be cheap. I'll have to see how that I drink works. I wouldn't mind picking up some of that, you know. A little bit of brain food is always a good thing for me because Lord knows I need it. Oh, Avalanche are already winning 1-0. Yeah, I would have to say Avs and Winnipeg. Hellebuck just doesn't lose at home in the playoffs. Granted, on the road, he can never win, but this year he doesn't have to worry about that as much. As long as Hellebuck does not lose a game at home, they'll win the Stanley Cup. Unless the coach is dumb enough to take him out for one game. I know some of my Winnipeg friends, I've been chirping them that they're turning into the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. Heavily favored and decide, you know, we're just going to crap the bed here when it comes to... Roddy would chop your head off if he had a choice. No, it would be nice to see Paragon actually get out and get some titles here. Here's a question for you, chat. Here's a real crazy one. Who beats the Hurt Syndicate? Who beats the Hurt Syndicate for the tag titles? Because right now, let's face it, they don't have anybody. I can think of one team, and that team's in the ring right now. Whoever MJF helps. Yeah, that's basically what... I'll give you that one. I honestly feel... it's probably going to be FTR eventually. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I could almost see that we're going to get MJF versus Lashley at Double or Nothing. And if Max wins, he gets to join the Help Syndicate. So then he'll win by hook or by crook. I just love this for our main event here. And that's one thing I love about AEW is the fact that you have 5 or 6 or 7 different matches you could put as a main event on a given week. And we were talking about this earlier, like a random all-star match you could do every week. Like what? We had that all-star 8-man tag you could throw every... Oh God, that sucks. Little Red Dragon finish there. I thought Roddy was going to do a pod shot. I'm like, where the hell did he learn how to do that? Dax will tap early here. Oh, nice. Right in the hands. That's where the tap will come in. Oh, Dax almost going after a fan. That would have been great. And a lawsuit. Sorry, I had to send a quick message out there. And of course, these commercials are getting free money out of me. Nobody gets free advertising out of me unless you pay me. Which wouldn't make it free advertising, which, you know, let's just get away. And for the record, folks, I was using one finger to point. I was not using my hand. Don't misconstrue that. My name is not Elon. Watch this. Next thing you know, I got memes coming up of me doing that. I'm going to have to, you know, go out there and knock some skulls around here. But it makes a lot of sense, you know, get that quick tap out right away. You know, and having the bad guys always down one and having to cheat their way back to get the tie up here. So if I do remember right, this is the home of WrestleMania 4. WrestleMania 4 and 5. Yeah, there's the they just blacked out the they blacked out the top sections here. The infamous tournament at Trump Towers or Trump Casino. Because, yeah, that was the WrestleMania that they had the awful stairs. I don't know if you guys remember that at all. Of course, probably not, because most of you guys are probably young whippersnappers that weren't alive when it happened. Even though my first WrestleMania show that I saw was WrestleMania 3 live. On the old Scramble Signal. Did any of you remember that? It's funny because, you know, most young kids will be looking at adult materials trying through a scrambled signal. I'm looking through wrestling matches.
What the hell is that?
Just saying. Not saying, just saying. I honestly don't know how that would help there right now with the push of the boot. I mean, wrestling was damn near adult content in the late 90s. Well, I'll give you that. Wow, that worked out well. But unfortunately for me, it was early 80s. Where unfortunately Fabulous Moolah was like the female wrestler there.
No, please, no.
With all due respect, that's my thoughts on that situation. If you're going to try and correlate those two. Jesus. This crowd is going nuts pretty good. Almost went 2 straight there. That would have been hilarious. Once again, everybody, just thank you for being here once again. As this is breaking down big time. I'd love to see this end in a double count out. So that the Paragon wins 2-1, but it's still a count out, so everybody calls it BS. Jesus. All right, well, that deserves that. Just a missile out of nowhere there by O'Reilly. Security guy didn't need it anyway. Show's almost over. They got to find some way to tie it up. It's only, well, it's 8 minutes to the hour, so. Wonder how much overtime they're going to go here. It's the old high school hardwood floor there. Yes, we know it's a hardwood floor. It's not Dax hardwood, it's hardwood. Here comes the shatter machine. Never mind, there's a chop block. All right. Are they going to do a fall during the commercial? I'd love for them to pull an Orange Cassidy. If you're not familiar or new with AEW wrestling, way back when they first were starting to do picture-in-picture, like 2019, 2020, I can't remember, it was pre-pandemic. They actually had Orange Cassidy beat Kip Sabian inside the picture-in-picture. So when they came back from commercial break, the match was done, everybody was gone already. So certain groups that didn't get picture-in-picture, they had straight commercial, didn't know it happened. Ironically enough, they have not had a picture-in-picture finish like that since. But you do have to hand it to AEW. Sometimes they were doing some smart stuff with it, like having Sammy Guevara with those signs. It was actually a lot of fun watching them do that. And like just the randomest stuff in the world he'd put on there. But the way that the product has actually gotten so much better here at AEW in terms of production. And this week we found out a possible reason why, with the fact that former WWE commentator, as well as one of the production heads over at Impact Wrestling, Josh Matthews, is now working in the production truck for AEW. So it makes sense with Josh's wife being part of one of the head talent scouts over here at AEW as well. With Madison Rayne, she's helping out in the back, help develop most of the women talent, along with Omega and a lot of the other agents as well. It's interesting for AEW. We don't get a list of agents per se because I don't think they do a lot of that. So. A lot of specific agenting itself. Like, if you check out SRS's report every week, he can tell you exactly who agented what match. Like, there are agents back there, but I think they work collectively. Parker the Sports, how you doing? Thank you for popping in here, CVT. Always appreciate having you here. I know that we were chatting a little earlier in another stream. I'm trying to remember exactly which one we were in there. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed Collision tonight. We're just in our main event here right now. And it's been an absolutely fantastic show tonight. Like, check it out. Oh, there's the tag. Kyle gets dumped in it. All right. Kyle O'Reilly's just so damn good. It's embarrassing how good he is. Just having everything go well together here, and just I'm glad that things are going good. I'm glad things are going great for everybody here. I could get used to the Thursdays, just because you got to remember Saturdays we're gonna have Saturday's Backlash. So, well, they're saying it's because of the NBA playoffs, but let's get real here. All right, everybody gets their submission moves now. Can't wait for McAfee versus... With all due respect, I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think. Like, have you seen the history of... Cannot wait for Cena. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Like, if people are going to think that Gunther versus Pat McAfee is going to be a complete wash, I would highly recommend you go back and check, if you can get into the NXT archives, check out Adam Cole versus Pat McAfee from, I believe it's a summer show. And then also the War Games where Kevin Owens came back to NXT for one night. But everybody that talks that McAfee's not going to be... What a reversal. Well, that's a tie game. But yeah, McAfee can go, and I think it's going to be a lot more entertaining than you think it's going to be. In light of all the things that are going on right now, when it comes to... with all the crazy things happening the last 24 hours, that's going to put a lot of extra pressure on McAfee for that, to be honest. Because, well, he's got to hear what everybody's saying. Oh, I thought we were going to get a 3 there to finish. You know what's crazy? Rollins came back to NXT for one night, but it was during his rivalry against Triple H. Yeah, absolutely. But there was one night that, I always thought that was, it was, Pat McAfee had a group of 4 against the Undisputed Era and Kevin Owens. I don't think he cares. He used to have locker rooms are great talent all the time. No, it's not just that. It's the fact that people are being told that... It's more the fact that he's being told, hit the high-low, but he's close to the rope, so Stoke can grab the foot. He didn't even call the 3 count. That was BS. Rake of the eyes, dirty pin, Shadow Machine. It's a little bit messy, but it's FTR, so you know you're going to get that southern messiness. And Cole's just looking at this, he's like, what the frick is this? Just rough. I think that's the best way to explain it. Rough. Just going to snooze that up here for you. But now Garcia's going to come out and probably join him. I'm assuming that's probably what's going to end up happening to end this. Because he said he's going to come out after all this and talk to him. Whatever it is, it's got to be quick because we're already past the end of the hour. Oh, people are heading out already and they don't realize you do not leave until they give their closing promo. It's one thing about AEW, like everybody's trying to head out, but it's like, don't. But they won't let you. 2.0 will let you. Okay. So where's this going now? Dax is trying to go over a therapy session. All right. Somebody versus Daniel Garcia. If they're not going to do Danielson and Nigel versus FTR, why not do Daniel Garcia and Nigel? Because Nigel's had a lot of positive things to say about Garcia, so it would make a lot of sense. Like, overall, I can't see it being a bad thing. As they're about to fade to black here, but what a great night of wrestling here, folks. And just, people that actually take the time to watch Collision are actually really spoiled about what's going on here. Like, with everything going on, we get lots of women's matches, which we don't necessarily get as much on Dynamite anymore. We get a lot of feuds set up, and a lot of feuds that don't involve titles, which is actually a really good thing that we haven't been able to focus on enough lately. Is the fact that we haven't had the best run when it comes to overall story feuds unless they involve a title everywhere. I don't care which company you talk about, they're all the same here when it comes to that stuff. AEW has taken a very conscious effort to develop these storylines that don't involve titles, but involve human emotions, which is probably more important at this point. And I'm absolutely loving it. And the one thing I have to say to sum things up, like, we talked about the matches all tonight already, and I can talk about them to death. But I think the best palate cleanser for all of us when it comes to wrestling and everything that's happened over the last 48 hours here is just to be able to sit down and watch some good wrestling. No, we're not giving up the cause. No, we're not thinking of the people that have lost their jobs this week, whether it be AEW or WWE, because remember, EJ Aduka also was told his contract wasn't being renewed as well. So it is more than just one company that's let people go this week. But for all the stress, all the anger, all the upsetness, all the confusion, because let's face it, we are so close to the time. Like right now, we're at a time right now where a lot of people have lost their jobs, and people need to remember that they are human. All these people are human, and they've lost their dream careers. Their dream career has turned to them and said, you are not good enough. And we could speculate everything about going, like everybody going, like, yeah, Parker, like everybody's had a different answer here tonight about who is the person they were affected most by. And I think we're going to talk about more about it on Wednesday as we let the chips fall out, because there are still people quietly being mentioned that their contracts aren't being renewed. Like Denny Parker came down today. The Shotzi announcement came down today. And there might still be some more coming down the pipe. So, you know what? I think we'll save it all for Wednesday. We can talk about a little bit more during 2K25 here. But for the most part, as we're watching wrestling, we can break down a little bit more about where these people should go and where we think wrestling's headed at this point. We're probably going to be able to talk about a lot more on Wednesday when things become a lot clearer about what's happened here. So, because there's a lot of people that want to say a lot of things about it. Like Cora Jade's had some comments saying she wants to talk about it. You know, Shayna Baszler ain't going to shut up anytime soon about it because, you know, she calls it straight from the hip. I love her for it, too. And the fact that everything that she's mentioning right now is a Warhammer 40,000 reference. That is always going to be a win. Anytime you can relate any kind of video game to anything is always a bonus. But yeah, just watching everybody and everything that they're doing right now, I just want to give them time to reflect on that, so... But with that being said, I think this is going to wrap up our night on YouTube. For those on Twitch, hang on in a minute. We're going to send you to break momentarily here, and we'll get 2K25 fired up, and we'll get my GM mode going here. But for those on YouTube, a record-breaking night. Our first non-pay-per-view where we've hit over 100 views in 2 hours, which I consider that as big of a win as we can get here. And I just want to applaud all of you for popping by here. This has been a fun night here. There's been a lot of talk about a lot of different things, and I love this community and how positive we all are together here. So for those that are watching on YouTube, make sure you give a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We will be back here on Wednesday with AEW Dynamite. But if you are interested in hanging out and chatting a little bit more, click the link in the pinned comment, which will take you over to our Twitch channel, or my Twitch channel for that matter, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. And we are going to fire up some 2K25 right away with my special My GM mode involving a few AEW wrestlers. So they're on my roster. So, but once again, everybody on YouTube, thank you for being here. Always appreciated. And always remember, be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem. And we'll see y'all here next time on the Backbreaker Video YouTube channel. Take care, everybody.